Alright, hello everybody, my name is Solek and we're back again for another Hero Factory review. Sorry about there not being an upload yesterday. I was super busy and I didn't have any time to film anything to upload yesterday. By the way, unfortunately daily uploads are about to stop because school's about to get back in session for me, so that sucks. But we're back again with set number 2194 with 57 pieces from the Winter 2011 wave, Nitroblast. Now, this is an interesting set for me, because I don't know if you guys have ever had like this one set that you've always really wanted, and then you finally get it, and it's like a little bit disappointing, but still pretty cool. That's Nitroblast for me. For some reason, I always really wanted this set when I was younger, and I obviously finally have him now. Just like the other villains, this set was $13 back in the day, and if you want him used today, he'll be about $15 to $30. New in box, he'll be anywhere from $30 to about $70 or $80. I see this guy going for some pretty different prices nowadays. Just want to mention real quick that this video and Fire Lord's review are not going to be filmed at my house. I'm actually at my grandparents' house right now. Thankfully, I do still have a white sheet to use, and I brought all the sets I need. But I don't have my base plate. I don't think that's going to really change anything, but in case you guys notice kind of a change in scenery, that's why that's happening. Also, I don't have the instructions or box for him. I do want to point out one error in my set though. So this piece right here, this extra long joint, is meant to be black. And I have the Witch Doctor, and he has some of those in black, but I don't have any spares. One of the ones broke on him, and those pieces are pretty important to him since they basically like maintain his legs, and it broke. And CCBS pieces don't break often, but they definitely do break sometimes. So what I did was took the black one on Nitroblast and put it onto Witch Doctor and replaced it with a gray one. It's not a huge change, but just know when we go over the new pieces in Recolors, that is meant to be black, just so you guys know. Speaking of new pieces in Recolors, let's go ahead and get on to those. And here are the recolors for this set. Already some pretty good stuff. Starting off, I didn't actually think this was a recolor at first, but I guess it is. It is a torso armor piece in black. Yeah, nothing too special, but it is new for this set. You've got this, which is a main torso piece with the wider shoulders in red. This is really cool, actually. And then as far as armor goes, you've got an unprinted gunmetal 5 long. And then obviously the printed armor piece, but I'll save that for last. You've got this extended bone joint in red. I mentioned this in Drill Dozer, but obviously Drill Dozer didn't have this. And then you got a light gray, just a regular upper joint piece. This is odd, especially that it's in light gray in a set that barely has any light gray, but I mean, it's still pretty cool to get. And you got these two little things. You've got a Keytoran spike piece like the one we saw in the Heroes, but in a new color. And a translucent green Baraki eye. That's pretty cool. You've got Meltdown's tank piece in translucent reddish orange. That's nice. You've got a pair rather of red Anika feet. This is the last set to use Anika feet. This is a pretty cool foot design. Kind of a shame they stopped using this one, but I mean it is cool that we're getting a new recolor in it in the last set that's ever used. And then you got his head, which normally would be a new piece, but like I said, you turn it around and Jetbug's behind there, so it's the same piece as Jetbug. Just in this set, they advise that you turn it around so that it's Nitroblast, and you can fit the green Baraki eye into there, and that's pretty cool. And here's his printed armor piece. Yeah, it's more or less pretty similar to Jetbug's, just with a slightly different insignia, so nothing too special there. As far as new pieces, I'll just show you these. You've got these, which are extra long limbs. Like I said, this should be black. But these both have 4 pinholes each in them. They're very long pieces. This one goes on his back, this one is his upper left arm. They're pretty cool. Definitely very useful for larger figures. We're going to see these used a lot on characters like Witch Doctor or Fire Lord. Very cool pieces, very useful. Alright, so like I said, this is probably the most nostalgic out of the 4 fire villains for me, but I'm going to try to not let that blind me on my thoughts on this set. So I kind of really like Jetbug, and then Drill Dozer I thought was still good, but just not very questionable in terms of design choices. Nitroblast is in the middle of that, so everything here is pretty good. Got good leg design, got good arm, got a good torso build, got a good head. Then you see this arm, and in concept it's fine, but in build it's not very good. I don't know why it needed the support. It's just like Drill Dozer's drill, it does not need that. It just kind of makes it look worse. Especially considering that this is the only light gray piece on the set. I do not understand that. It could have just been black or red and that would have been fine. Yeah, it's just questionable. I like the idea how it's just this massive flamethrower for an arm, but in execution rather, it's just clunky looking. I don't like it very much. Kind of messes. Whoa. Sorry about that. Kind of messes. Oh my gosh, what the? It kind of messes up the whole set. But in terms of articulation, he's still pretty good. You got 3 on the legs, 3 on this arm. This arm kind of still has 3. It's very complicated the way it articulates, and he's just got 1 in the head. You can move the meltdown tank around too, but I don't think like you're supposed to do that. And then he's got his thorn axe launcher. I'm not even gonna shoot that off because you probably know how those work. Something I feel would have made this set a lot better. I wish that they put the thorn axe launcher onto the big flamethrower arm. I feel like that would have made a lot more sense. It would have just made him look better because like he's got this massive arm, and then he just got a little tiny arm with a little gun. I just think that would have looked a lot better. As a whole, I do think he looks pretty good, but strangely enough, I'm not actually going to recommend any mods this time around, because like, as much as I would like to change some things about this set, there's not really a lot I can change without this just being a whole-on revamp. Of course, you could probably add some armor right here. I don't really know. You could do basically anything you wanted to make him look better. But like, I personally just can't think of any simple little changes that improve this guy. As a whole, I think if you take the massive, weirdly built arm out of the equation, I think he's a pretty solid set. So since I have no mods to show you, I guess we'll just go ahead and get on to my final thoughts already.
So all in all, I do think Nitroblast is a really solid set that suffers from having just one big issue that drags the whole set down with him, and unfortunately that issue is an entire arm. Yeah, the big old flamethrower arm is a huge detriment to him. I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but it's built very awkwardly. It's hard to pose him with it, and it just gets in the way, honestly, and it doesn't look very good either. Taking that out of the equation, though, everything else about him is very, very solid, and that's why I'm still going to give him an 8. Yeah, that might be a little bit high or a little bit low, depending on your opinion, but that's what I'm going to end up with, simply because he has some really, really good things, but then one pretty bad thing that weighs like an anchor on this set. If you're willing to look past that big flaw, then I'd say go ahead and get him if you really think he's good, but if you don't want to get him because of that, then I mean, there's not really much else to look at here. Still a good set, just not very flashy, and like I said, one big problem does keep me from completely recommending him to you.
And that covers Nitroblast. As far as the fire villains so far go, I like him a little bit more than Drill Dozer, but I definitely think Jetbug is better. He's a decent set, aside from the mess of an arm he has. I mean, yeah, that's all I have to say, and I hope you all will join me next time when we wrap up the Winter 2011 reviews with the man himself, Fire Lord.